odds for their first of 8 heat races tonight. Of course, we'll do 4, and then we'll move on to other programs, and then we'll come back and do 4 more later on in the night. But it'll start like this. On the pole from Shreveport, the Deep South Diesel Performance, Big Joey's Competition Automotive, Anchored Roofing, Comprehensive Motorsports, ASEF Logging, number 03 of Kevin Chesney Jr. Gage Berry drives the 3G car. He's out of Longview, Texas. Lining up on the inside of row number 2 is Braxton Galladay, car number 7 from Elysian Fields. To the outside from Quitman, Louisiana, Parker Alexander, 2M Services, Circle G Farms, Radar Race Engines, Patton Plumbing, number 6 is Richie Patton. Colton Davis, Stephen Guidry, Bob Kellogg, Ronnie Freeland, and Trevor Spear rounding out your starting order. 9 cars go at 8 laps for limited mod heat race number 1.
Around goes Chesney, and Freeland's going to be able to make the car skinny and sneak by. Let's see, Chesney's rolling down the hill, but the caution flag comes on. Your 3rd annual West Grigsby Memorial presented by JCT Auto Sales Heat Race number 1 for the limited modifieds. Rolling to the green. Not a good start for Chesney again. They're going to go 3 wide on the start for 2nd into turn number 1. Chesney, a newcomer into this class, and he's nearly going to loop the handle, but Galladay does at that time. He gets straightened out by the 21C of Colton Davis, and to pick all their pockets is the K1 of Guidry. Here comes Steven marching to the beat of his own drum. In the number K1, he'll move himself to 3rd.
Richie Patton has put together quite a miraculous season here in 2025. Lots of feature wins over at Super B as well as the Rev as he leads heat race number 1 here in car number 6. And the RKT Designs caution flag is going to come out. Looks like somebody's leaking on the racetrack.
Yeah, somebody's leaking something somewhere. You can see the trail of fluid all the way around the speed plant. I'm not sure exactly who it's coming out of. So again, this is the 3rd annual West Grigsby Memorial, paying $5,069. That hangs in the balance here for the USRE Limited Modified Division here. Of course, all these drivers racing for national points week in and week out here at the Boothill Speedway. They raced for good money last weekend, $1,500 on the line. Chase Hatton out of DeBerry, Texas, scored the victory here last week in an exciting race that saw Connor Mewborn lead some. Put together a pretty nice year. Been a really good season. He's had his share of wins at the Revolution Park in Monroe as well, and Chatham at the Super B Speedway. The Patton family gets it honest, right, Josh? It doesn't matter if you're talking Butch, Lee. We got a lot of Pattons, Wayne, Richie, and there's a couple of more Pattons we're missing in there, but if they got 4 tires and a steering wheel and your last name's Patton, well, they've proven time and time again that they can get the job done. And we'll see if Richie can get the job done here in your opening heat race of the night for the USRE Limited Modifieds as they get ready to roll to the Fletcher Fencing green flag here at Boot Hill on night number 1 of the West Grigsby Memorial. Keep your eyes on Stephen Guidry here in this one, man. He started back deep. Guidry started 6th. We'll keep an eye on him to see what he can do. He's going to roll down to the inside, and Barry jumps the cush. They roll off of turn number 4. Here comes Prairieville, Louisiana racer. Colton Davis aboard that car number 21 sees. He rolls down to the bottom for 2nd. Gage Berry's had a fairly strong run here considering his lack of experience, and he's up there hanging tough. Of turn number 2, that's the best battle on the speedway. A pair of young racers, the number 7 of Galladay, sizing up the number 3 of Barry as they roll down to the inside here. The best battle on the speedway. Barry's into the gas off of 4. Going to give up that spot to the number 7 of Galladay as they roll back into turn number 1. I'll tell you what, the K1 of Guidry's got something right here. Got a little mustard underneath the K1 car tonight as he squirts his way off of 4 to the back deck lid of the number 6 car up front for the race lead.
Puff of smoke for the 21C of Colton Davis, but he keeps it rolling. We'll see if that amounts to anything more as Guidry's going to throw a slide job for the race lead. He's going to come up short as the white flag waves, but Patton's all crossed up over it. Does Guidry have one more slide job in him here?
He does. He surprised Richie. Richie was like, oh boy, I didn't see him coming. And they roll down the back straightaway, knock the 6 car out of sorts, rolling back into 3. Now Guidry's going to have the outside line. They're going to drag race off of 4 to the line. The 6 car's going to slam the door shut. Richie Patton wins heat race number 1 in a good race to the drop of the checkered flag. Stephen Guidry gave him a shot in the shorts underneath the line to let him know, hello, I am here. But what a run for Guidry from 6th en route to 2nd.
That was a very well maneuvered entry into turn number 3 for the 6 of Richie Patton there on the final lap. He went down to the bottom to block the slider, and it paid dividends for him as he goes to the win in heat race number 1. He started 4th, so a really respectable run. He's going to start a little deeper in heat race number 2 for him, and we'll see if he can get it done. But the 6 of Richie Patton will be your high point man going into the rest of the program.
Man, there's some really good racers represented in this second USRE Limited Modified Heat Racing on the pole out of Vidor, Texas. The driver to the B&D Motorsports Express chassis number 5W, the Reinhardt Trucking entry for John O. Whittington. Outside of the front row at Minden in car number 01, the KTI Bodies entry of Lawson Shells. Inside of row number 2, you'll find Mason Peterson out of Carthage, Texas, aboard car number 34. Outside of 2, it'll be Rustin, the former King of the Hill winner. It'll be Mark Underwood Jr. He already won his factory stock heat race. Inside of row number 3, the 11-time Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship winner, driving the 5-star Builders True Love Law Firm, JCT Auto Sales, number 69 for the Marshall Missile, Derek Grigsby in car number 69. Wow. Row 3 is Row Fast. Outside of him, it's the pair of Marshall Mafia racers. It's Winnigan, Chris Hennigan out of Marshall in car number 16 junior tonight. I thought Dustin was driving that car. Didn't look over a roster. Kendall Puckett out of Dubach in car number 18K. Rocky Shreen. Hey, Shane Hebert is here tonight in car number 18. Wow. There is about the who's who in limited modified racing. I think you only need to throw Cody Smith in there, and you got a well of a party. Down the back straight over the opening lap, Josh Whittington trying to get the advantage. How about the youngster Shows looking to hang tough, but here comes the slider through 3 and off of 4. Give the lead to John O. Whittington.
Jono leads the way in the 5W. Lawson Shows trying to hang on to it for a second, but here comes Derek Grigsby. We know how badly he wants to win this event. Underwood's going to tuck down to the inside of Grigsby for second, and the 16 junior of Chris Hennigan right there as well. Man, you got 5 drivers in this race that you could easily see winning this event come tomorrow night.
Man, slide job city all over the place. Here comes Derek Grigsby with another slider. Look out! He's going to fit the gap in behind the 5W in the front of the 99, and we get a caution. The car that Derek just sold this week. Of course, that car, he had it up for the raffle, right? Danny Richardson won the raffle, but he took the money option. But the car was still for sale, and they sold the race car as well to that driver, car number 34 of Mason Peterson. And not getting off started the way he was hoping. How about the Mac Daddy? That's a long run-on sentence I just did there. But how about Dale McDowell just won again at the Big E? He made a final lap pass of Devin Moran last night. I would love to see Dale McDowell win the World 100 tomorrow night. How cool would that be? So, hey, all of your friends that are tuned in watching the World 100 on Flow, if they're watching the Super Nats, they can do more than 2 things at once, or more than one thing at once. Tell them to throw Boothill Speedway on once the Big E wraps up here. We understand the Big E's a big deal, but tell them to tune in and hang out with us at Boothill once that all wraps up, or they can just do it now. Either way. Lights are out. Whittington back to the green flag. The Vidor Texans send us back to school. Telling you, man, look at this top 6. You got Hebert. They're 3 wide for the lead. Look out. There was just enough real estate right there for them to fit the gap. Whittington walks right through the threshold. Grigsby left him just enough of the lane. Here comes Underwood with a slider. Oh, my goodness, we got a race.
Absolutely we do. We got 3 heavy hitters going for that top spot as the 5W Whittington goes back to it. Here comes Underwood through the middle. Grigsby peeking on the bottom. Hennigan and Shows back there for 4th and 5th.
I know Wes Grigsby's looking out, grinning from ear to ear right now as they roll off of turn number 4. Derek may be running 3rd, but he's got to be loving what he sees. out of this racetrack as we roll back into one. Here comes the Marshall Missile down to the bottom. He'll leave the lane to the 99 Junior. They roll off of turn number 2 down the max straightaway. This is what it's all about right here, race fans. Here comes Grigsby. He'll throw another missile into turn number 3. He'll leave another lane to the 99 Junior. Look out. Oh, my.
Woo! 3 laps to go, and I don't want it to end. Zach Clark.
This is insane.
99 of Underwood crosses down underneath Grigsby again. Grigsby going to set up one more slider. They're 3 wide out of corner number 4 for the 2 to go signal.
If you don't like this, ladies and gentlemen, you don't like dirt track racing too much, do you? Rolling back into one. Here comes the missile from Marshall.
Oh, my.
He will Parker that time on Underwood. Underwood may not like that too much. They're going to roll down the back straightaway. Grigsby trying to run down the 5W Whittington. Grigsby's going to drive it all the way up to the top shelf off of 4. Whittington felt the pressure, but he continues to lead off of 4.
White flag waves. There's 1 lap to go, and Whittington's got the lead, but Grigsby wants it. Going to wash up the racetrack, and that might have been his shot. He might have lost his shot right there as Grigsby going to go down to the bottom looking for it one more time, but John O. Whittington leads flag to flag in heat race number 2.
Wow. And Chris Hennigan rolled his way up the 4th at the drop of the checkers. How about that? The cream rises to the top. How about this top 5? A former Battle of Boot Hill winner, Shane Hebert, finishes 5th. Chris Hennigan, a former Tootsie Smith Memorial winner, finishes in 4th. Mark Underwood Jr., former King of the Hill winner, finishes in 3rd. Derek Grigsby, 11-time Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship winner, finishes in 2nd. And John O. Whittington, looking for his first official win at Boothill Speedway. Yes, he's crossed underneath the checkered flag before here, but he has never officially left here with the trophy and the check, folks. That was a phenomenal heat race. Give it up for the top 3, throwing slide jobs on each end of the racetrack. Slide job city. If you don't like that, folks, you don't like dirt track racing too much. But how about a hand for your winner, John O. Whittington from Vidor, Texas?
Zach, I would wager that those top 5 drivers combined undoubtedly have more combined wins in their career than any other drivers combined throughout the pitting area tonight. Those 5 guys, they've got more than any other group of drivers, all of them in the pitting area tonight. I mean, that's an absolutely stacked, star-studded field right there.
I said it on my podcast a couple of weeks ago that, you know, when Mewborn and Grigsby had their little scuffle or whatever, I said, honestly, like, and I'm not saying that, you know, between those 2, but this is what this class needs, right? It needs a little blood in it. It needs a little bit of controversy maybe here and there to stir this thing up. But, man, you love to see the quality of the talent that is here tonight, no doubt.
We got Phil Dixon and Ryan Reeves leading us to the green in heat race number 3. Britton Moore, Tracy Denby Jr., Chase Hatton, Connor Mewborn, Jack DuPont, Hunter O'Keefe, and Michael Harlow. Don't sleep on heat race number 3.
We will not. You couldn't have fell asleep on the previous one. It'll woke you right up.
I believe Ryan Reeves is a former USRA national champion.
He indeed is. Rolling into 1, the Lubbock, Texas racer. Runs a lot of races down there in South Texas. Off of turn number 2, heads down the back. Sorry, up there, West Texas is what I meant. Sorry. Rolling into 3. Reeves right now, he's your race leader. Rolling through 3. How about Ethan Bell's here tonight? Rolling off of 4. Connor Mewborn looking for his 5th win in his last 8 starts now. Rolling into 1 and 3rd in car number 36C.
Connor Mewborn coming into the weekend with probably the most speed of anybody in the limited mod division around the Arklatex, as he'll throw the slider in front of Tracy Denby Jr. Jr. going to power it down to the inside as they go wheel to wheel for the 2nd spot. Denby and Mewborn throwing haymakers at each other for the 2nd position.
Indeed are. Mewborn gets by and he's going to lose the handle. He'll corral it. Down the racetrack he goes. Let's keep an eye on all 4s to see if they're still inflated, but here comes Denby. He's going to throw one down to the bottom of Mewborn for 2nd. Nothing doing that time. Here comes the A1, the fast one, Phil Dixon, living up to his moniker in that fast one speed shop number A1 car. Down to the inside for 3rd. He wants more.
Connor Mewborn railing the top, trying to reel in the J21 of Ryan Reeves for the top spot.
Ryan Reeves up front, kind of minding his own business right now, but not for much longer because here comes Mewborn. Railing in the wind here in Greenwood. Off of 4, the Western Flyer race car rolling into 1, the best engine power, screaming like a dog underneath the hood there, built by Chuck Priestley. Rolling off of 2. Here comes Mewborn, setting him up for the race lead. Slide job inbound for the top spot. Mewborn throws a missile into 3. How do you like me now off of 4?
White flag and Mewborn's got it. But the J21 of Reeves is right there to the inside. Does he have a move? And he'll slip up there at the exit of 2. Connor Mewborn Powers down the back straightaway into 3 and 4 for the final time, and he's going to grab the checkered flag. Connor Mewborn, 6th to the win in heat race number 3. Ryan Reeves will come home 2nd. Tracy Dimpey Jr. will finish 3rd. Phil Dixon in 4th, and Chase Hatton will finish where he started in the 5th spot. Not what the 211 wanted to see coming off of Victory Lane last Saturday night. But Connor Mewborn has as much speed as anybody in this limited mod division as of late, and he goes 6th to the win in pretty short order there, as we have one more heat race. And boy, I don't think anybody wants to see the limited mods into their heat races tonight.
Man, it's been some of the best limited modified racing we've seen here all year long. We've been treated to 3 phenomenal heats. Let's hope the 4th one is just as good as the first 3. On the pole of your 4th and final of round number 1 for the limited modifieds, you'll find from Cleveland, Texas, the former limited modified racer of Calvin Tucker. To the outside of him out of Jonesboro, Louisiana, driving the Chatham Crawfish Shack P Daddy's Garage B99 for Speedy Ben Leedy. Inside the 2, back in the saddle of the Comer Motorsports C3 IRP race car for Talon Willis. He's out of 10 Mile, Louisiana. To the outside of him, former $5,000 Battle of Boot Hill winner for Dylan Spear out of Marshall, Texas, in the 22 Magnum. Inside of 3, it's Skeet Amison out of New Boston and car number F5. To the outside, it's Mighty Mike Wells, the 5-time Texarkana 67 Speedway track champion in the Rotor Central Heating and Air IRP race cars, Hitman Designs number 38. And then inside of the 4th row, he'll start 7th on the grid out of Wascom, Texas, driving the PTS Racing engine-powered IRP race car, Superior Graphics number 55 for the multi-time Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship winner for Slick Rick, Ricky Burke Jr., car number 55. And outside of him, he's the 8-time Texarkana 67 Speedway track champion at Red Lick, Texas, driving the Texarkana Emergency Center Texas Back Institute Family Medical Associates RPM-powered IRP race cars number 35 for Rapid Roy, Aaron Roy, and car number 35. And then back there, man, we have got a quality field here tonight, right, Josh? This limited field is stellar. Ethan Bells is going to be your final starter, the former Bayou Dirt Life regional points champion in car number E8. Lights out, the guns are set to come out and fire this time off of turn number 4. There is not one slouch in any of these limited modified heats tonight. As they roll them into one, this ought to be a good one. They're already fanned out 3 and 4 different lanes wide all around the racetrack as they roll down the back straightaway into turn number 3 on the opening trip.
Talon Willis will take the race lead, but Leedy got crossed up, and I think 87A of Calvin Tucker might have been down power, but Ricky Burke Jr. is going to get the worst end of it as we see the RKT Designs caution flag come out.
I want to say hello to my buddy Joshua Greenwald. He was hoping to make it out in his factory stock this weekend. Of course, he was watching the King of the Hill live from his State Trooper patrol unit last week. We understand that. He's got the race car on the sidelines and keeping people safe. But his grandfather, Mr. Jerry Sr., is in the hospital. Broke a hip and had surgery today, so Josh not able to make it back to the Speedway. But we can't wait to see that Performance Automotive Transmission Center number 27 back out here with the factory stock competitors here before the season ends. And that was kind of a wild start there. Ben Leedy just lost the handle over there in turn number 3, set up a quick donut shop, and the only thing to straighten him out was the right rear of the F5 of Skeet Amison. So how about an OG restart? That means original. Original restart, nose damage on the right front of the 99 of Ben Leedy. We'll see what happens here as now Talon Willis going to be the driver leading this field to the green flag.
Yeah, it looked like the 87A of Calvin Tucker had issues, so he pulled off in that RKT Designs caution flag. And that will give Talon Willis the race lead, and he's going to be tough from the pole. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, T-Dub's going to be tough. Remember, this event last year, or was it the one the year before? But he jumped out front, led some laps, and, well, things got a little sketchy there, and he ended up getting a flat tire, did Willis. They roll him back into turn number 3. Here comes the former $5,000 Battle of Boot Hill winner, Dylan Spear of Marshall. Down to the inside of Amison. Amison turns down the challenge. He'll continue to hold on to the 3rd spot as they roll back into 1. Talon Willis has not missed a beat driving one of these limited modifieds. No, it's not the Robert Metz Racing 955, but this C3 car, we know what it can do. Right now, Willis is on a march out front.
Talon Willis leads the way over Ben Leedy, Skeet Amison. Dylan Spear and Mike Wells side by side for the 4th position.
Mike's having a good run here, Josh. No doubt. Oh, I get a little bit of contact there with the left rear tail feather of the 22 Magnum. All bullets, no blanks right now for Spear. He'll roll it there to the top off of 4. Gets a little crossed up right there. Open the door from Mike to roll down to the inside of him. Mike Wells up on the wheel here tonight, down to the inside of Spear. That continues to be the best battle. Although behind them, the Ada Bells gets the best of the 35 of the Red Lick Texas racer, Aaron Roy, as they roll back into 3. It is all Talon Willis all the time.
Indeed it is. He looks like a rocket ship out front in the C3 Star.
He looks like a rocket ship, or he is a rocket ship?
I think he looks like one.
Yeah, his hair's on fire. Look at him go into 1. He has a, well, we've got to wait. This is how big of a lead he has. We have to wait until they cross a 5.028 second advantage up front. It's just an absolute dominant run for Willis as he comes to the white flag. It was 5.028 the last time. What do you think it is now? Let's say it's 5.1. Oh, my good, 5.691. He
So
put
he's
another
half a
7
second faster.
He put another 7/10 on him. But the battle's for second. Into 3. It's Amison sizing up the B99 of Leedy. Rolling down to the bottom. Leedy's got the outside preferred momentum. He'll roll off a 4. He'll grab second at the line.
6.5.
That was a 6.179.
6.1, okay.
Yes. Talon Willis just bit the field over his knee for an old country tail spanking